I was originally asked to do the demo, the guide for SodaPop. I guess maybe they thought that I could provide that. They chose me to do the part for Jinu. My first cut was with SHINee, Beautiful, SM. They helped build my career. I hope that I can continue to make good music 15, 20 years down the line. Hello, JoongAng Daily. This is Andrew Choi. I am so glad to be here, and thank you for joining us and watching. It's been great. It's been wild. At the same time, a bit disorienting. Still don't know how to register all of it. But yeah, I've just been mostly grateful. Very, very grateful. Yeah. Oh, definitely. I would love to be, part of the second Demon Hunters for sure. But just like everyone else, I don't really know exactly what's gonna happen, so we'll see. Wow, these are hard questions. I haven't thought that far ahead. I think the easiest way to answer that question is maybe it's a prequel that dives into, their backstory before all of that happened. That's all I can say for now, yeah. I want to know the answer to that question. No one told me why. I think what they needed from Jinu was a vocalist that wasn't trying to be stylistic. So it was different for me too, because I've been doing K-pop for so long. Putting in these stylistic elements is really important to me, but they didn't want a lot of that. They wanted just raw emotion and aggressiveness in parts where it was needed, and I guess maybe they thought that I could provide that, and so they chose me to do the part for Jinu. I didn't know the voice actor for Jinu when I was recording it, and then when I saw the preview, the trailer, and I heard his voice, I was like, it's so different. He has this very low, rich voice, and my singing voice isn't like that.
Oh, so you shared your secret with your friends?
I was afraid that people were gonna call me out on it, right? They're not gonna call him out, because he's a popular actor and he's great at what he does, and I'm this newbie, no one knows who I am. So I was really nervous about that, but fortunately, people were able to buy into it, and so I'm grateful. Thank you. I would say Ian had a lot to do with that. Ian, he was the executive producer for the soundtrack. I didn't have a lot of context. They only had the storyboard, and so he would describe to me the scene in which I was singing. He would explain to me how I should be feeling at that moment. Well, with Free in particular, I think he wanted me to have this connection with Rumi. You want to kiss, but you can't. He wanted me to feel all those things, and I think it really did help. And to be honest, I heard the song for the first time after it was comped, and I was a little bit disappointed because it's not the way that I would sing it. But then after watching the movie and understanding Jinu's character, 400, 500-year-old demon, right? So he's a pretty old guy, and he's a no fluff type of person, he doesn't think the way the young people think. I totally get why Ian wanted me to go in that direction. If he wasn't there, I don't think my singing would have been as convincing on my own, yeah. I think I've said different songs in every single interview, but I think YourIdol would probably be my favorite. On my first day of recording, I heard YourIdol, and I was blown away with the arrangement, the production, the vocal harmonies and stuff like that. So my only concern was how am I going to be able to sing this and pull it off well? I mean, it would be great, but I'm not that overly ambitious at this moment. I'm just so astounded by the success of the film and how much people love the music that I couldn't ask for anything more, really. I mean, 3, 4 is fine with me. Well, I guess we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks, but I mean, that song Golden is fire. It deserves to be on top, so. That's a long story. How do I keep it short? So since high school, I was absolutely into K-pop. I had a band and we were performing. Fortunately, we had the ability to tour around the States and do a lot of shows, but then, you know, we weren't really making money, and one by one, each member started leaving, and I was on my own, and it was really difficult. And so I gave up music. So yeah, I moved out to Korea. I taught English for 2 years, and it was great. I loved teaching. Then I started missing music and songwriting, and so I started doing it for fun. And that was really the first time in 15 years that I started working on music just because I wanted to. I wasn't looking for anything else. With the producer, JoongAng, that I was working with, we pulled together some money, rented out this studio, and it just so happened that that studio was owned by a producer who was working a lot with SM. And as luck would have it, he forgot his bag at the studio. He came in, he heard me singing, and then he asked me if I wanted to write over some tracks that he had. I said, sure. I took those tracks home. I finished it that night. And then like a week later, like he told me the song was cut. And that was the SHINee song. It was called Beautiful, 아름다워. And what's even crazier was that track was made by Teddy Riley, like a legendary Teddy Riley who produced the entire Michael Jackson's Dangerous album. Yeah. And ever since then, like most of my work was with them. So they helped build my career. So I owe a lot to them. I loved Hard, SHINee's single from like maybe 2 years back. And the reason why I love it is because it's so different from anything that I've ever written. I'm not like a rapper, but that song, the majority of it is rap. And so it was just really fun to do that and have a song like that become the title for SHINee. I feel like I'm still as ambitious as when I was in my 20s, but I'm not in my 20s, I'm not in my 30s anymore. My body isn't. So I have to be really careful how I invest my time now. But we'll see. I'm trying to release a song next month. It's taking a lot longer than I had expected. But yeah, I really do want to release more music. Now that there's an opportunity for me to release my own music through KPop Demon Hunters, like, I think it's a good chance for me to do that. I do want to take advantage of that as well. I hope that I can continue to make good music and enjoy the music that I write 15, 20 years down the line. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I really, really appreciate your love and support. I'm just so overwhelmed by how many of you have loved the film and loved the music. I will be releasing a single soon, so I hope you guys like it. Thank you, JoongAng Daily, for having me. It was such a pleasure to be here, and hopefully we can do this again next time. Thank you. Bye.